Why do I feel like everybody's trying to
You never really know a most true intentions.
We are back with our deep dive, breaking down the latest trailer of Euphoria Season 3, and today we are talking about Episode 6. Now, after Episode 5 left us with Maddie adding new clients to her roster, we see that she's now working with Alamo. Nate is down one toe and one finger now, as Cassie's now making her way on television, and Rue dug her own grave, and we're left wondering what's going to happen next. Now, based on this trailer that we're about to break down, we got 0 shots of Rue, so is she dead? Is she alive? We'll be talking about that. The meeting between Alamo and Elordi happens, and it looks like Cassie works at the Silver Slipper Club now. We got a lot to break down in this trailer, so with all that being said, spoiler warning from the previous episodes, alongside with my theories and predictions based on this trailer. Now, the title of this 6th episode is Stand Still and See. Now, if I were to make a guess, stand still sounds like something Alamo would say to someone that he's about to shoot. As we know, he said something similar to Rue in episode 1. Stand still and see. So again, this just sounds like someone's giving someone orders or directions, and just knowing all the characters in the show, it could be towards Rue, like Rue, be still, just wait here and see what happens next. Or it could be someone referring to taking a picture, taking a pose. As we'll talk about in this breakdown, there are shots that we see characters taking photos, and we know there's a bunch of characters with OnlyFans accounts. So again, could it be Rue being told to be still and to wait and see? Or could it be Maddie talking to Magic or Kitty or Cassie and telling them to be still and see how the picture turns out? Or of course, it could be something else entirely. Now, we open this trailer with the DEA agents, as one of them is using their binoculars to look at who I would assume is maybe looking for Rue. Now, the question is, are they watching the final moments of episode 5 with Alamo riding towards Rue's head with his club on the horse? Or did Alamo avoid knocking her head off and keeping her alive and just wants to teach her a lesson, and they're watching all this unfold? Now, it is important to remember that things aren't looking good for Rue, not just because of what Magic said to Alamo about the robbery and obviously where we see her at the end of this episode, but it's also important to remember that Bishop asked for Rue's phone, and the last call she made was towards Lori and Wayne. So my question is, how the hell will Rue explain that? Now, we cut to this shot here of Alamo saying, why does he feel like everyone's trying to mess with him, as he looks out of his window. Now, if you look closely, there's a truck pulling up as he's saying this, and we can see that it looks like the similar truck that G was riding at the end of episode 5. Now, could this shot of Alamo looking back be of him looking at G pulling up to his house, or is maybe Alamo looking at where Rue's head is buried in the hole? Or is he thinking about what he should do next with Rue? Because if there's one thing we know about Rue, she can talk her way out of just about anything. Now, here we get this shot of Bishop talking to someone about how you never really know someone's true intentions. Now, based on the lack of light on his face and also based on the light behind him on the wall, I would assume that he's probably at the strip club, but the next question is, who is Bishop actually talking to? I would bet that he's probably talking to Alamo, and if it's not Alamo, then it's probably G or Kid, or it could be one of the strippers. Now, cut to the set of LA Nights with Patty and her producers and Lexi all looking at a monitor as Patty asks Cassie what she does for a living. Now, we cut to a shot of Cassie posing, and you notice that she's not on the set anymore in this shot. Now, if you look around her, she's actually at the Silver Slipper. Now, we know that Alamo and Maddie are working together now, and Maddie had Cassie sign her contract in last week's episode, so could there be a clause in Cassie's contract where she has to go to the club to teach the other girls how to properly pose for OnlyFans? I mean, I would imagine that Magic and Kitty and any of the girls there probably know how to pose for a camera, but maybe Cassie is giving them some tips on how to get more money on how to look sexy online and be less like a stripper and more like an OnlyFans model. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Cassie is learning from Kitty or Magic on how to be more sexier on camera. Or maybe Maddie is adding another skill set to Cassie's portfolio and she's going from OnlyFans to a TV role to now becoming a stripper. Now, going back to the question that Patty asked Cassie about what she does for a living, we hear her say that she's a performer, which could play into my thoughts about how she may be working at the club now, or maybe connecting the two worlds, What if Cassie's role on the television show has been upgraded to someone that needs to know how to dance? And that would explain why Cassie is at the club to learn some sexy moves. Now, our next shot here shows Lexi drinking something and looking confused when Cassie answers that she's a performer. Now here we get the shot of a face-to-face conversation that probably is the same conversation where Patty's asking Cassie what she does for a living, as she responds by saying that the hardest part of her job as a performer is how people treat her, even her own family, as she looks over at her sister Lexi. Now back at the club, we have Alamo meeting with Maddie, who says to him that it would be good to give the girls some time off. Now, if you look on the left of Maddie, there's someone else in the booth with them and we don't see their face. But if you look at their jacket, it's the exact same one that we saw in the shot earlier in this trailer, and it's the same jacket that Bishop's wearing, so it's safe to assume that that's Bishop in the booth with them. Now, when Maddie mentions about having time off for the girls, we get this shot here of Cassie, Kitty, and Magic posing for a picture. Now, a couple things I want to point out. I bet the picture that they're taking is probably for their OnlyFans, like a three-way special type of a picture. If you buy one, you get one free, or the other free, or buy two, get one free. But putting that aside, I don't think Maddie is referring to all three of the girls. Like, I don't think she's talking about getting time off for Cassie, Magic, and Kitty, but she's probably just referring to Magic and Kitty. I say that because I doubt that he would have much to do with Cassie, since Cassie and Maddie have their own contract going on. I could be wrong, but we definitely know that he 100% has control over Magic and Kitty, so I would imagine they're 50-50 split that they agreed upon last week, and we're gonna maybe see Maddie trying to be a manager to Kitty and Magic and try not to step on the toes of Alamo, because again, technically she manages them as well. Now, Alamo responds to Maddie by saying she's talking about time off, and if she was, that wasn't a part of their agreement. So is this agreement about how much each girl should spend in the club versus when they're making OnlyFans content under Maddie's direction, or is there agreement about something else? And again, does that include Cassie as well? Now here we get this shot of Jules painting, and she's saying that she doesn't get it. You show up and you disappear. Now, we don't see who Jules is talking to in this scene. Now, one can say it could be Ellis, but I doubt that she would talk to Ellis like that. So I'm putting my money on Rue. Now, we haven't seen Rue at any point of this trailer so far or throughout this trailer. So it could be someone else. But again, we've only seen Jules in scenes like individual one-on-one scenes with Ellis and Rue. So again, I'm safe to assume that she's talking to Rue in that scene, despite us last time we saw her, we had the cliffhanger wondering if Rue is dead or alive. And if I were a betting man, I bet that Rue is still alive. Now, while Jules is saying that, we get these shots of Cassie saying Nate's name, and he's not answering his phone. Now, based on the shot here, it looks like she may be in the kitchen of her and Nate's home, as she has this look of concern on her face, so maybe she sees the broken glass, and maybe there's some blood left on the floor from what happened to Nate in the last episode. But here we have our next shot of Cassie back at her apartment, leaving Nate another voicemail as he appears to be MIA. Now, before moving on, let's hear from the sponsor of today's video, and that is Factor. So about 2 weeks ago, we were hit with a pretty massive storm out here in the Midwest, and as you all know, whenever there's a big storm coming in, that means you got to go to the grocery store, stock up, and try to get as many things as you can. But as you all know, more times than not, we end up going at the last minute, so when you arrive to the grocery store, nothing on your grocery list is available, the lines are outside the door, and it's just an extreme hassle. But luckily for me, I had a solution for my problem, and that's thanks to Factor. Factor just always comes in the clutch for me because it's an answer to my problem. It gives me a solution to having fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs and delivered straight to your door. Not only is Factor a convenience thing for me that I love, but it also allows me to hit my nutrition goals, especially with the summertime coming up. There is no planning, there's no awful grocery runs, or no cooking. Again, with spring coming up and summer right around the corner, Factor just fits my schedule and my routine perfectly. Factor has meals that are just built around your goals, whether that's weight loss, overall nutrition, more protein, or GLP-1 support. Now, for those that are looking to work out more for strength or even workout recovery, check out Factor's Muscle Pro collection. Every meal is crafted with functional ingredients, lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole foods, and healthy fats. Factor bans 175 plus ingredients, no artificial colors or sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup, no refined seed oils. Just nutrient-dense food. And when it comes to the taste, this is what I love about Factor. It's fresh, just never frozen. Over 100 rotating weekly meals, including globally inspired flavors like Mediterranean and Asian, so there's always something new to look forward to. Also, what I love about Factor is when they add new things. For example, try their newly launched ready-to-go salads with vibrant ingredients like elote, corn, and miso edamame. Plus 70 plus add-ons to round out your nutrition, from green juices to peanut butter energy bites. Again, I just love the convenience about Factor. Like, ready in 2 minutes, Factor shops, preps, cooks, and delivers straight to your door, so you have more time for everything you love this spring. Again, there's just so many things I love about Factor. The convenience, not having to worry about going to the grocery store, having various different options. I use this and you should too. Now here's the best part. You're going to want to head to factormeals.com/MovieFiles50 off and use my code MovieFiles50 off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscriptions only while supplies last into September 27th of 2026, which you're going to want to use the website for more details. Again, head over to factormeals.com/MovieFiles50 off and use my code MovieFiles50 off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with a new subscription only while supplies last until September 27th of 2026. Again, I love Factor and I just know you all will love it too. So again, you can find all that information in the description of this very video. Shout out to Factor for sponsoring this video. I'm such a big fan of theirs. I use their products. I enjoy their products. It's so convenient. So if you all want to get involved with Factor and have that convenience that I get to experience, check out all the information that we spoke about in that video, and all that information can be found in the description of this video, but also pinned in the comments below. With all that being said, let's get back to the trailer breakdown. Now, speaking of Nate, we see him at the construction site, and if you zoom in, you can see his hand has a bandage on it, which to me means that this shot takes place after what happened to him in last week's episode, which was him losing another body part, courtesy of Nas's henchman. Now, Nate is screaming, saying that you want to ruin my life. Now, is that to Nas? I doubt that he would speak to him that way. He could be talking to Cassie, or maybe he's talking to one of the investors that want to pull out, because obviously nothing has been done to this point as far as the construction goes. But it looks like we have our answer here, because this next shot shows the henchman choking and grabbing Nate. So I would assume the shot before of Nate screaming, "You're ruining my life," goes hand in hand with this shot, or it could be from another shot. We don't know how they line up the audios. It could be from another scene. So I'm assuming that Nate was referring to ruining his life. He was talking to the henchman. So we can expect to see Nate get his ass beat yet again. Now cut to the shot of the DEA agent, which is the same shot that we opened this trailer with, but we have it from another point of view. Now here we have a shot of Alamo saying to a mystery person that, "Isn't this your plan? Don't you want to see it through?" And for this mystery person to do what it takes. Again, this mystery person, I'm betting that he's talking to Rue, even though Rue's not in the trailer. But as we move forward, we get these quick shots of Alamo with golden bullets. We have Bishop loading up an AK. Next, we have G as we see Kid loading up a gun as well. Again, I think Alamo was talking to Rue in that moment. Like, this was her way of talking her way out of that hole. Like, she came up with some type of plan, and Alamo's like, "Well, let's see it through. Let's see if your plan comes through. Let's see if you're being honest, if you're on my side." So again, I think that was Rue that he was referring to in that last scene. Now here we see Faye making a heart shape to Wayne as he's in the truck with the rest of the crew, that being Harley as well as Lori. Now, seeing Alamo's crew loading up their weapons and Lori with Wayne and Harley, and they're driving off, I would imagine that this is part of the plan that Alamo was talking about, and that's them meeting up, which we know was mentioned in episode 5. Now here we see Lori's truck pulling up to Alamo's house, as we can see that these are the same monitors that was behind the kid. Now as we end this trailer, we see Lori's crew walking up the stairs into Alamo's living room. As we see everyone loading up on both sides, we have G loading up, we have the kid, Harley, as well as our last shot showing Bishop behind the bar. And it's kind of a weird position to be in. Like, if I'm Wayne or Harley, I would not let Bishop be behind me. But either way, we see Lori and Alamo having a stare off. As Lori says to Alamo,
Alamo Brown, I hate that things have gotten so contentious between us.
Now, I want to go back to some of those shots that we saw with the DA agents. Now, I said that maybe they were looking for Rue, but what if they were actually just looking at the meeting that's taking place between Lori and Alamo from afar? Since Rue's phone is missing, they can't record the conversation, but they can watch the meeting take place. So again, the biggest takeaway from this trailer for me was obviously the absence of Rue. Now, the show seems to be really playing up on the idea of the cliffhanger and leaving us to wonder, did they really kill Rue? Is she maybe badly injured, or is she still just in the hole? Also want to mention that we haven't seen Ali since, episode 1, and if you all have seen the behind the scenes and know who else is a part of the cast, one of my favorite actresses, and Danielle Detweiler, will be a part of the show as well, so I'm curious to know, one, when will Ali return, but also, when will we get to see the incredible Danielle Detweiler? So as we wrap up, based on everything that we just discussed, we can expect this episode to include the DEA agents being involved and probably looking in on the meeting, which we may get a crazy shootout between both sides. We also know Cassie is now maybe working at the strip club as Maddie and Alamo disagree on the girls having time off. We see that Nate looks to be getting his ass beat again, and I wonder if he's going to be losing another finger, another toe, or maybe even something worse. And again, even though we don't see her or hear her, but I would say that the scene with Jules and the scene with Alamo saying stick to the plan, those to me prove that they were probably talking to Rue, even though again, we don't see her throughout this trailer. And let's just be real, it's the 5th episode, y'all. There's no way they killed Rue with 3 episodes left. And also, if you all have seen the main trailer for the season, we haven't seen certain shots that Rue is in. Now, of course, it could be trailer trickery. They could just be, maybe she is dead. I highly doubt it. It's Zendaya, your lead character. But again, I'm to assume that Rue's okay and we're going to see her. Even though we didn't see her in this trailer, she will be in the next episode. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Look, man, whatever happens, I'm excited to see how it all plays out. I think the last few episodes have really been strong. Like, even though episode 5 had that crazy opening with Cassie being Godzilla, I thought the rest of the episode was strong. And I thought last week's episode was strong. I thought the wedding episode was good. So I know people have been bashing on the show, and to each their own. And by no means am I saying this show is perfect, but this is my messy Euphoria. I love how messy it is. I love that sometimes it could be a little unorthodox. It can make you feel uncomfortable. And the writing isn't always perfect, but I always enjoy the acting. I enjoy just like the vibe that the show has to offer. And I'm really enjoying this season despite some of its shortcomings. But I'm thinking that things are starting to really pick up in regards to the violence, the desperation. The stakes are really ratcheting up because, again, they're making us think that something bad has happened to Rue, but I am sure that we will be seeing her in episode 6. Alrighty, y'all, that will conclude my breakdown of this trailer of episode 6. Let me know what you all thought of the trailer. What were some things that you took away? What are you all hoping to see? What are some theories? What are some predictions? Do you all think Rue is dead? Is Cassie working at the strip club? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, before we wrap up, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Factor. Again, you can find all the information about getting my discount and how you can take advantage of that. All that information can be found in the description of the video, but also in the pinned comment in the comment section. If you all are watching this on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that hype button, share this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and consider sticking around by subscribing to the channel today. Alrighty, y'all, by the time this video is out, I will have a couple movie reviews coming out this week with Obsession and Is God Is. We'll be talking about The Boys 7th episode. We'll also have a theory prediction video pertaining to The Boys. And then, of course, I'll see you all Monday morning to discuss Euphoria Season 3, Episode 6. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all are staying safe. And don't forget, you all are awesome. I'll catch you all on the next breakdown.